Can you believe that this tiny little nut contains about 150% of the required amount of selenium that you need every day? Today we will talk about Brazil nuts. Hello everyone, this is Fabrizio from ProHealthix, and today we will look into maybe a nut that you have never considered or you have never tried it, which is Brazil nuts. So I'm actually recommending you to consume one Brazil nut a day. Why? Because Brazil nut contains a lot of selenium. Actually, a middle-sized Brazil nuts can contain up to 70 to 90 micrograms of selenium. And if you consider that the daily value of selenium recommended for a person is 55 micrograms, already one single nut will cover all your needs and will prevent deficiency. But what is selenium? Now, selenium is an essential trace mineral, and believe it or not, many people are deficient in selenium. It has been estimated that about 500 million up to 1 billion people worldwide are deficient in selenium. So it usually gets less attention than its brothers like iron, zinc, iodine, but in reality, neither humans nor animals can survive without selenium. Selenium is a trace mineral that we typically intake in our diet mainly from plants, and plants absorb selenium from the ground. However, selenium is not evenly distributed across the globe, so there might be regions that are richer in selenium than others. It has also been shown that sometimes it's not the amount of selenium that is the key factor, but is the bioavailability of selenium for plants to absorb this trace mineral. And it's also been shown that in drier regions, bioavailability of selenium is lower compared to, let's say, other regions. So it's a very complex matter when it comes to selenium. There is also another issue, which is fertilizers. So typically we fertilize the soil with phosphorus-based fertilizers that in first place limit the bioavailability of selenium, and second, we not replenish trace minerals in general in our soil. So we keep on cropping and consuming trace minerals that are not being taken back into the soil. So a lot of minerals indeed are becoming deficient in our diet. This includes selenium, includes magnesium, includes zinc, and so forth. So, but what is selenium important for? First of all, selenium is a very powerful antioxidant. What is an antioxidant? Antioxidant is just a compound, is a chemical compound that prevents oxidative damage in our cells, caused mainly by free radicals. You know, free radicals are part of our metabolism, so we produce free radicals even every second in our daily life. However, there might be factors that increase enormously the amount of free radicals in our cells, including smoking, including consumption of alcohol, stress, and pollution. And thereof, when we have a lot of free radicals and not enough antioxidants, our cells, good cells, healthy cells, will go through oxidative damage. What are the consequences of oxidative damage, called also oxidative stress? Well, this has been linked to chronic diseases, including heart disease, Alzheimer's, cancer, as well as premature aging. Thereof, having a good intake of antioxidant is really key in our diet, and selenium is not an exception. And because of the antioxidant properties of selenium, selenium may reduce your risk of certain cancer. Why? Because selenium is able, due to the antioxidant properties, to reduce DNA damage and oxidative stress. Some studies actually also suggested that supplementing with selenium may reduce the side effect in people undergoing radiation therapy, so it's a pretty big deal. Second of all, may protect against heart disease because of the antioxidant properties and prevention of oxidative stress. It can also boost your immune system. Again, why? Because of the antioxidant properties help lowering oxidative stress in your body, that in turn lower or reduces inflammation and therefore enhance immunity. But there is much more that this trace metal can do. Because it's very important for thyroid health. Now, selenium is important for the proper function of the thyroid gland. In fact, the thyroid gland is the tissue that contains the highest amount of selenium in our body. Therefore, a healthy thyroid gland is important because it regulates our metabolism, it controls growth and controls development. On the other hand, selenium deficiency has been associated with a thyroid condition called Hashimoto's, a type of hypothyroidism in which the immune system attacks the thyroid gland. So it is a pretty severe condition. Now, it is clear that selenium is important and Brazil nuts are a powerhouse when it comes to selenium, but there is a catch. And the catch is that out of all nuts, Brazil nuts are the nuts containing the highest amount of phytic acid. A phytic acid, which is a natural component present in nuts, seeds and grains, binds minerals, making them less bioavailable for us to be absorbed. And what are these many minerals include selenium, but also zinc, calcium, magnesium and so forth. So if you consume Brazil nuts or you're planning to consume Brazil nuts, I strongly recommend you to use soaking them in water overnight. Why? Because it will reduce the amount of phytic acid in the nuts. There is another important thing is that to consume them raw, because that's when you get most of the benefits of the Brazil nuts. And when you soak Brazil nuts, you need to soak raw Brazil nuts, because sprouting is actually is actually what will reduce the level of phytic acid. You could also consider roasting them, because roasting can also decrease the level of phytic acid. However, roasting means exposing the nuts to high temperature that can be detrimental for heat-sensitive vitamins like vitamin E, and as well as tend to oxidize some of the polyunsaturated fatty acid, healthy polyunsaturated fatty acid present in Brazil nuts. There are also some adverse effects that we should be aware of. First is allergies. Remember that Brazil nuts are nuts, so if you are allergic to nuts, please take care that you're not also allergic to Brazil nuts. Another thing is storage. Now, storage is in general when you have sensitive compounds like vitamins and unsaturated fatty acids. I would strongly advise to store nuts in general in the fridge, because that's where you keep them fresh the longest. On the other hand, if you store them on a shelf, on a drawer, make sure that they are far away from a heat source like an oven. And if you smell them some kind of rancid, oxidized smell, please do not consume Brazil nuts. Now, there is also another thing, that because Brazil nuts are so rich in selenium, be mindful on the amount of nuts that you consume on a daily basis. Why? Because too much selenium is not good. If you exceed the 400 milligrams per day, you might experience adverse effect. So limit your consumption of Brazil nuts to 1, maximum 2 a day. That's it for today. I hope you found this video useful, and I'm going to look forward to having you consuming 1 Brazil nut a day now that you know how powerful these seeds is and selenium is for your body. Take care, and don't forget thumb up for the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not done it yet.